Stop trying to drop your bad habits. It's not working. You're fighting against yourself and losing. Don't habit drop, habit swap. We've all been there, trying to force ourselves into better habits. We tell ourselves, this time will be different. This time we'll stick with it. Intense workout routines, meditation, green smoothies, saving money, and like you, I've failed spectacularly at all of these. We don't fail because we're weak. We fail because we're fighting the wrong battle with the wrong weapons. We're trying to drop habits when we should be swapping them. In the next few minutes, we'll look at a completely different approach. Small swaps so easy you'll think you're cheating. Big swaps that could completely change your life, and the science that makes it all stick. Think about something you do every day that you know isn't serving you well. Maybe it's grabbing fast food on your morning commute. We all know it's bad, but we don't truly face what it's costing us. Start with the obvious. Weight gain, feeling sluggish at work. But don't stop there. Push deeper. What else is that drive-through habit stealing from you? Your money? Hundreds of dollars every month vanishing? Your time? Those quick stops adding up to hours each week? Your professional image? Arriving with breath that could rival the break room microwave? Your evening energy? Feeling too drained to play with your kids or pursue your passions? Your future health? Seeds of problems you'll face years down the road. When you truly see the full price you're paying, that convenient habit suddenly looks like a terrible bargain, doesn't it? Now, what could you swap it with? You could skip breakfast entirely, do some intermittent fasting, and use those extra morning minutes to record voice notes for that book you've always wanted to write. Or simply take that time to write down the one thing that would make today meaningful. The beauty of habit swapping isn't that you're fighting against your routine. You're just upgrading it, like trading in an old, unreliable car for something better. What are some other simple swaps? Instead of mindlessly listening to the same music during your commute, swap it for audiobooks or language learning. Same time, same activity, listening, but dramatically different outcomes. 5 years from now, would you rather be someone who's heard the same songs 1,000 times or someone who speaks a second language? Instead of circling the parking lot like a vulture, desperately hunting for that perfect spot, simply take the first available one a little further away. You'll save stress, get some extra steps, and your car doors won't get dinged by some other rushing vulture's car door. It's a tiny choice, but it represents a profound shift in mindset. You could swap your nightly bowl of ice cream for a 10-minute run. Same time of day, same mental break, but instead of a temporary sugar high followed by regret, you get endorphins and energy that lasts longer. These swaps might seem small, perhaps even trivial. That's exactly their power. They don't require heroic willpower or dramatic life restructuring. They simply redirect energy you're already spending. Master these small swaps, feel the difference they make, and then you'll be ready for something truly transformative. The big habit swap. This isn't just improving your day. It's about transforming your life story. Imagine it's 5 years from now, and you're at a dinner party, and someone asks you what you've been up to. Which answer would you rather give? I've watched every show on Netflix, or I just completed my master's degree. Would you rather say, I've seen all the trending TikToks, or I built an app that's helping people. I've mastered sleeping until noon. Or, I wrote a novel that's being published. I've reached level 100 in my video game. Or, I earned my black belt in jiu-jitsu. Each of these transformations requires the same amount of time, just redirected. The average American watches 2 to 3 hours of TV daily, the exact time commitment of a part-time degree. The typical person spends 2.5 hours on social media, enough time to become a programmer within a year. What makes these big swaps work isn't superhuman discipline, it's consistency. Those small daily choices compound like interest in a bank account. As James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Your life 5 years from now will be determined by what you consistently do today, not by what you do once, but by what you do daily. The question isn't, what do I want to accomplish, but rather, who do I want to become? Take a moment to envision your big swap. Not what would impress others or look good on social media. What would make future you look back with pride instead of regret? All this sounds promising, but why would habit swapping succeed where so many other approaches have failed? In his book, Atomic Habits, James Clear reveals every habit we have, good or bad, follows the same 4-part pattern. First comes the cue, the trigger that starts the behavior. Maybe it's stress, boredom, or just driving past that fast food place. This triggers a craving. But here's what's fascinating. You don't actually crave the habit itself. You crave the change in state it provides. You don't crave the coffee. You crave better alertness. You don't crave social media. You crave connection or distraction. Next is the response, the actual habit itself. And then finally comes the reward, the satisfaction that teaches your brain whether this pattern is worth repeating. Traditional approaches to habit change try to interrupt this cycle through sheer willpower, but habit swapping works with your brain instead of against it. You keep the same cues and satisfy the same cravings. You just change the response to something better. Clear gives us 4 powerful laws to make these swaps stick. Make it obvious or invisible for bad habits. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower ever could. Want to read more? Put books by your favorite chair and hide the TV remote. Want to stop mindlessly snacking? Keep the junk food out of the house and the fruit on the counter. Make it attractive or unattractive for bad habits. Bundle habits you need with things you want. Only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. Only get your favorite coffee when you're doing deep work. Make it easy or difficult for bad habits. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Set up automatic transfers to your savings. Unplug the TV. Delete social apps. Keep junk food in inconvenient locations. Make it satisfying or unsatisfying for bad habits. Your brain prioritizes immediate rewards over future benefits. Find ways that make good habits immediately rewarding. Track your progress visually. The satisfaction of not breaking the chain becomes its own reward. You might be thinking this all sounds too simple. Good. It should be simple. We're not trying to become entirely different people through heroic effort. We're making thoughtful upgrades to who we already are. Here's what you can do. Pick one habit to swap this week, just one. Make it small, make it obvious, make the old habit harder, and make the new habit easier. If you fail, great! You've found one way not to do it. Get back up, brush yourself off, adjust where needed, and try again. 5 years from now, you won't be defined by some dramatic moment of change. You'll be the product of thousands of small swaps, moments where you chose something slightly better. And when those thousands of small choices compound, the person looking back at you in the mirror might surprise you. And it all starts with one swap.